Hey guys, we are back. Yes, we are back from Sin City, Las Vegas, and we are live. So it's good, Sasha. It is good to be back in some way streaming again. It was great to have vacation, but I like to stream, and I love Night Owl. So I'm really excited to be back, and I will be back tomorrow. The Ramsey Paul Show is back in business tomorrow and I'm rejuvenated. I'm excited. I did prep this evening and I'll do some more in the morning. So, a lot of new stuff to talk about tomorrow. If you guys are new to Night Owls, this isn't really a political show, but if you want to ask political questions, that's fine because we love our super chats because it makes the liberals seethe. Right, Sasha? It makes them seethe.
Right. Makes them seethe.
Seethe, cope and seethe. So if you want to ask a question or donate, there's super chats. Thanks for that. Rumble has rants, and I am on board. I am watching rants like a hawk now, so I won't miss that. And we're good to go on Rumble. And hey, Scott James is on Rumble, so thank you, Scott. It's good to see you guys there. They have rants, so they work good too, and I check those. And then there's also Power Chat below, and that's a great way, and Stream Elements. And so it's great to guys have you here. And it's just, hi guys, everyone is Marcus P. Great to see you. E.T. Nim, wonderful to see you again. And Bart and LJL, great to see all you guys. Yeah, it was a busy week last week. We had a good trip and we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Right before the show, Sasha, she got a Lego set, and you said you were having some issues with it, right?
Well, I mean, I made like one mistake. Like one
Yeah.
brick was over one thing. And so
Uh-huh.
I couldn't get another one in. So I had to like figure out my mistake. And it's like this big ass book.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm like halfway through the book. So you have to kind of go back and go, okay, where did I mess up?
Yeah.
And I fixed it and figured it out. But it looks pretty cool so far. You can see it really looks like a Nintendo.
And I also want to thank people for I got a letter and donation from John. Thank you. I wrote him back on that. I think I called him Josh, but I met John. So John, thank you so much for that. And Michael D, he is a good supporter, and he sent us a postcard, I think from Spain. He loves to go to Spain. He's in the Netherlands, right? Netherlands or Belgium. I think it's the
Belgium
Netherlands.
is where he's from,
Belgium.
I
Oh,
think.
he's from Belgium. That's
I
right. I
think
always get
so.
those two countries mixed up, but he's from Belgium. And thank you, Michael D, for that. And just it's funny because I got the other day, last week, 2 weeks ago, Old Chase, he gave a real generous donation on Rumble, and I missed it. I feel so bad about it, but he suggested I pick the lucky numbers, and we did play Keno. And here's my official uh, receipt or whatever, but we didn't win your numbers you pick, Old Chase. We tried. I guess he won, like when he was in Vegas, he picked these 5 numbers and he got all 5 and he got like $38,000 or something, Sasha, he said. So that was pretty cool. I'm
Keno
happy.
was funny. It was like really slow, and it was all old people in there pretty much.
Oh,
But it was
it
funny.
is.
It just
Yeah.
moved so slow, but it was fun. It was kind of like the old lottery, like when I was a
Mm-hmm.
kid with the balls pop up, and but it just go real slow. And if the old lady working the front got like asked a question from somebody, then that meant your next game would be put off even longer because you have to wait 3 minutes in between games, I think, for all the
Yeah.
numbers to pop up. But it was fun.
Yeah, Keno is just it was a number game. You just pick numbers, just like the lottery, and it's easy to play, but it is kind of an old person's game. They used to call it running the numbers back in the day in cities when it was illegal, but it's not a very popular game anymore. I guess they have Keno machines now where you can just play it like a slot machine.
Oh, I kind of like the way we played it.
I do too. It's kind of you sit down and you just kind of wait, and there's some older woman. Looks like she smokes a lot of cigarettes, doing the bingo stuff, and so that was that was pretty fun. So I wanted to thank all you guys for that sent us mail. And again, if you want to write us, it's Paul Ramsey at PO Box 8093, Fayetteville, Arkansas 72703, or send it to Sasha and we will get the stuff. So we'll thank you very much for that. And yeah, so we've a lot of stuff to talk about. We have Las Vegas to talk about. We got some movies we checked out with. I finished one of the things I want to plug my Gum Road. If you guys aren't on Gum Road, go ahead and sign up for it. It's only $5 a month, which I used to joke, right? It used to be a joke, Sasha, kind of a joke. It's like, okay, that's the price of a Starbucks coffee. And it was a little exaggeration, like, oh, really, Starbucks coffee is not that expensive. But now with inflation, I really think it is the price of a cup of coffee.
Yeah, coffee's almost $5.
And in Vegas, that's the thing we'll talk about. The on the strip, the food prices were just crazy. It was like we went to Johnny Rocket. It's just literally like McDonald's. It's fast food. It's good. Hamburger, fries. So I got hamburgers and fries by itself. Not it doesn't even come with a drink. Was $23.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what the hell? So, you go to, let's say, Burger King or McDonald's and get a combo meal. I think it's outrageous because just a few years ago, you get a combo meal, which is like a burger, fries, and your drink could be like $5, $6.
Mm-hmm.
And now I think it's outrageous here. Now it's about like $9. But I went to Vegas. I'm like, holy geez, it's like $23 at least on the strip. It was
Yeah,
just
the strips is
crazy.
expensive. Well, we did go downtown, and the McDonald's there was like normal prices.
Yeah,
So I was
yeah.
surprised. So even downtown, I guess, is not as bad as the
Uh,
strip.
we did have a good time. We met a couple of supporters. I won't. Well, I'll say one guy that name's Josh and Max, right?
Yeah, he's in the chat a
Oh,
minute
which
ago.
one, Max or Josh?
Max.
Max. We had a great time, and we went to Naked Pizza. It was called. It's a local pizza joint there, and it was fun. It's a blast meeting people. We did that the time prior. We've seen Josh now twice. He's really cool.
Mm-hmm. He
And
is.
he's a good supporter. And Max was new. It was the first time we met him, but it was really cool seeing him. So, and they both have jobs. And Max, when he does his job, he likes to listen to the Ramsey Paul show. So, thank you very much. It's always inspiring to meet people, and I really do appreciate that. So, thank you for that. And so that was. I was talking about my Gum Road, and a good reason to join is because coming up in the first of next month, actually, it's going to be in like a week or two. We'll do the book review. We have a book club, and this month we're reading Hillbilly Elegy, and I read the book, but just strictly on the plane, the flight from to Vegas and the flight back. I was able to read the entire book, and I really really like the book, and I think there's a lot of great things to talk about. It was written by JD Vance. I follow him on Twitter. He's I think a senator from Ohio, and it tells the story of kind of growing up what we would call now like hillbilly culture. His family was from Kentucky. They moved to Ohio, kind of the poor white culture and some of the elements involved with it. And in my own life, I've seen a lot of the same elements in family and so forth. And I really love the book. We're going to have a great discussion about that.
Yeah, I think you will.
And Sasha read it. You read it previously, didn't you?
I read it a few years ago. My friend Mark told me about it. He thought I would like it because I could relate to it, and you could. And some of it kind of hits almost too close to home, but I
Yeah.
still have to read it. I need to listen to it. I got the audiobook, so
Yeah, it is something. And we already got a power
I'll
chat,
chat.
and this is from Robert. Thank you very much, Robert. It's great to see you guys. And Robert, Rams, and Sasha, the common thing throughout America's poor customer service and lack of care. Does the person speak English? Can they help me out with screwing up? Do they care about doing a good job? It didn't, that's why I like about Power Chat. You can actually copy. They don't have the limit as Super Chat, so how much text you can put in. And yeah, Sasha and I were talking about that because in Vegas, a lot of the customer help now, like at cashiers and stuff, their English isn't that good,
No.
and it's hard to understand them. And even here, a lot of times, I think the customer service is not what it used to be.
A lot of the people were really nice though. Like I went
Hmm.
out without you and like went into some of the casinos and talked to people like when I buy stuff, and a lot of them were pretty nice.
Yeah.
The guy at Excalibur liked my bag, and we talked about that for a while. So I don't
Yeah.
know. A lot of people were friendly though, I thought.
Yeah, there's a lot of good people out there. It's like I said, the demographics of Las Vegas, just so you guys know. Years ago, I was a card counter. In fact, I got banned from the Four Queens in downtown. I You can't do that anymore for a variety of reasons, but I quit going to Vegas for a long time. But through the 80s and 90s, I used to go quite a bit, and it's really changed. In fact, that comes up with this next question we have, and I'm gonna it's a perfect question. Thank you, Siege Cats. Thank you so much. A very generous donation, Sasha. $20. Thank you.
$20.
That makes it left seethe and cope. So, Siege Cats. Hi, guys. I hope you had a great trip to Vegas. We did. I travel there frequently. Have you noticed it has gotten more magical in recent times? Anyways, love your content. My family and I watch and look forward to your content. Well, shout out to Siege Cats, and your family. Thank you for watching. We really do appreciate it. And yeah, that's what I was kind of getting into. Is I used to go to Vegas a lot, and the demographics have changed quite a bit. If you look at old videos from, let's say, the 80s or 90s, it was definitely a lot more white than it is now. Not only with the staff, but the clientele, and there was people from all over the world. But wouldn't you say that white people were in the minority, Sasha? Oh, Sasha, what
Sorry.
happened?
I accidentally clicked off because I was trying to click Twitter off and I clicked this instead. But
Oh,
yeah,
oh, boomer mistake. Okay, I
it
didn't know.
was. Sorry about that. Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, so it has changed a lot that way, and it's got a little, although it wasn't as bad this time as the time before, but I think it's just got a little sketchier, or there seems to be more homeless now than there was when I was there. Years ago, you would see that mostly downtown, but you wouldn't see that much on the strip. But I think we're just seeing this not just Las Vegas, but in the entire country now. You're
Well, you
seeing
saw
more
like
homeless.
we went to see my dad
Yeah,
yesterday, or yesterday at my cousin's, and he lives like out in the sticks, and there was a guy holding a sign way the hell out near where she lived. And
that's the
I'm
first
like,
time I
wow,
saw
like
that. Yeah, it was in
people
the
are out
rural
there
area.
now. If it
Yeah,
used to be illegal in Fayetteville, you couldn't stand out in front of businesses and corners. And then I
mhm.
don't know if they fought it, but there was some reason they're allowed to do that now. So you see like people all over the place holding signs begging for money now. And that's something you didn't used to see in Fayetteville. It was pretty clean. And now you see a lot of that shit here.
Yeah, I agree. It should be illegal. You
You
don't have a
should.
right to be a bum, and I it just takes down the whole.
There's no reason to be a bum anyway. There's like
No,
tons of jobs.
right.
Unless you're like mentally ill or like handicapped. And even then you can get help, if you don't have money. But I mean, there's so many places hiring. And my friend said this once, there was like this guy that looked pretty overweight
Hmm.
holding out a sign, like a homeless guy. And he
Hmm.
was like, my friend's older. And he said, who would you think the homeless bum would be, me or this guy? And he's just
Yeah,
like, I have a job. And it's like, yeah, these people don't look like they've missed many meals.
yeah,
It's just like people just don't want to work. I would rather have a job than stand out in like the heat and beg for money. But I guess some people just don't want to work. I don't
yeah.
know.
A lot of the homeless there were definitely mentally ill. We saw a lot of people just screaming into the darkness. I feel
Excalibur
sorry
seemed
for
to,
those people.
Me too. Excalibur seemed to have like a problem with like vagrants in the front because there was multiple times I saw people, and then there was like a guard that went up to this one guy. Like he's just passed out like in front of the doors. And
Yeah.
so I thought, well, at least they're like taking care of it.
Yeah, and again, that's something years ago you just didn't, especially on the strip. You saw some bums downtown, but not on the strip. And so we went briefly downtown. It's a little cheaper to gamble there. And Sasha had never been there before. Did you like downtown Las Vegas?
Yeah, it was neat. I like the strip better. Somebody I work with
Yeah.
told me that downtown was better, and I don't understand why.
Well,
I mean, the
It's
gamble,
cheaper to gamble.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it doesn't look as cool. Like, I mean, I could go to the Indian casinos here and
Yeah.
it's cheaper, but it's
Right.
like what makes it cool are like all the hotels, like the Pyramid and the castle. And I loved like walking out and you could face one way and you'd see like the Statue of Liberty and the
Mm-hmm.
castle, and then you'd look another way and you'd see the big old MGM lion. Like to me,
Mm-hmm.
that's what's fun in Vegas, just all the stuff. And then like the Bellagio changes its gardens.
Mm-hmm.
And we went last summer, they had all the animals, and they didn't have the animals this time. They had all these flowery hearts. It was really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So every time we go, we'll have to go there and like check out the gardens. So there's
Yeah,
just always something to do there.
yeah, I did enjoy it, and we saw this. I never really heard of them before, but the rock band Tesla, and that was really good.
That
I
was
did
great
enjoy
too
that.
because you got
Yeah.
our tickets. The line was so long. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I bet this sells out. And it did. And you got like, I think you were one of the last people to get tickets.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, this is standing room only because they're the cheapest tickets they had because I was just going to do general admission. But I've never been in there, so I didn't know what the seating looked like.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like I was like, I don't know, 5 heads from the
Mm-hmm.
front. So it was really close seats, and you could see everything. The seats were, or it wasn't seats, but just the standing was great, and the crowd was really nice. Like nobody was like shoving or I don't know. It was a good show. I was glad we went.
Yeah, I did enjoy that.
I didn't know if you'd like it. I was like, Paul probably hates this, but then you're like,
No,
no, no,
they
I
were
liked it.
good.
So I was like, cool. It's hard to imagine anybody not liking them. Like I told Brandon on the phone earlier, we saw him. He goes, really? Like even he sounded like happy that we got to see him.
And the lead singer, man, he's old. He's what, like 64 years old,
64.
and
Yeah.
he's still sing really
He
well.
sounds just
So
like he always did. He didn't
yeah,
lose his voice. A lot of those
no.
old rocker guys can't sing anymore.
Well, that high, screech they do is
Hmm.
tough to reach when you're that age. So
Yeah.
I was impressed. I was good. So
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
yeah, and so that was kind of the whole Vegas thing, and then let's see here. Oh, did you see, Sasha? I got some people mad at me on Twitter again
I
because,
haven't been on Twitter all day.
well, that's really good because I it turns out that you see the it looks like A24 is already over.
Oh, well, duh. It was
He's
over
come
when it
out
started.
and he says he loves Jewish people
I
now,
saw it.
and he's just I guess he's ghosted like Nick Fuentes and all that. So I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, me
But
too.
now I guess a lot of the gripers are all mad at me about it because I said hitching your wagon to a mentally ill black rapper was probably not wise.
No,
you know this.
I knew about that, but I didn't know. I didn't see it on Twitter. I saw it on like Kino talked about it.
Yeah, I don't know. This is the whole thing that it seems like our people just have. It's like we can't. We always have to get validation from other people, other groups, and it always just ends up in disaster when you do
Hmm.
that. So I think that is all over. So remember that was going to be the big thing, and I don't know. I knew that was going to happen. I predicted that would implode
I
because
figured he would just throw him under the bus and be like, "Oh, I was on like medicine and went crazy, so I had to say that I was talked into this or whatever." He was going to try to blame someone else.
yeah, it was, and so that it just all fizzled out right away. It didn't even last so much for the A24 thing.
Right.
But that so, hey, don't get mad at me. I didn't cause that to happen. I don't have any control over that. I think it's that one issue. We won't go into it, but people are so desperate just for some black guy to say something about it that somehow that validates them. It's a weird thing, right? You need validation from a black guy to make your opinion okay. And to me, it always just seemed like a weird thing to do, to need that. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I think we should like all people and it's great, but it just seems strange to me.
And somebody in the chat said, "Did he decide that from a movie?" Yeah, that's what I heard too. That he watched a movie with Seth Rogen in it or something, and then decided he liked Jews again.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's what I heard, but like I said, I didn't actually see it on Twitter, so I don't know.
well, the thing was, I don't, I'm not, obviously my age and stuff. I'm not into black rappers, and until recently, I didn't even know who Kanye West was. I had
I'd
no
heard his
idea.
name, but I didn't know like the
I
only
don't
thing
know any of his songs to this day. I don't like rap music. I can't stand it. I like rock,
me
and
too.
I just don't, maybe he's great. I don't know. But to me, everyone, oh my God, he's such a visionary. He's so brilliant. I'm like, he seems kind of stupid to me, really, every time I heard him
Well,
talk.
he said on Alex Jones that he was the lowest IQ guy in the room. And
Well,
it's just like,
yeah,
even if you think that, like, if you're really serious about running for president, maybe you shouldn't tell people that. I'm
yeah.
sure he was.
And then remember he wore that GIMP mask or something weird on
Yeah,
that. He went on all these shows and did really weird
Balenciaga.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah, and did the Netanyahu thing, with the
yeah,
net, and
so stupid.
it was really cringy.
It
But I
was.
saw this, I'm like, I don't find this clever. I don't find this brilliant. I just find this really stupid.
It
And
was
maybe I just
stupid.
don't understand it, but to me, it just came across as stupid. There's a fine line between clever and stupid, and it came
Yeah.
across as kind of stupid.
Wasn't that on
Spinal
Spinal
Tap,
Tap?
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm not surprised because he's not right in the head. So
Jonah
um
Hill, that's the actor. It wasn't
yeah,
Seth Rogen. I knew it was one of those. Same thing. Like two fat, annoying Jewish guys that aren't funny.
yeah,
Like I never really liked either one of those guys.
yeah. And we got a power chat from, let me just see here. Who is this from? Johnny. Thank you, Johnny. And Johnny, what would be Rams and Sasha's favorite magic trick? See any of those in Vegas? We didn't see any
Mm,
magicians. My favorite magic trick, I don't know. I think the ones that look like people levitate's pretty cool.
yeah, those are
Uh,
cool. The sawing the lady in half, but you kind of know how that how to
yeah.
do it.
Part of the problem is a lot of these tricks now you can just Google and figure out how they did things, so it kind of
Mhm.
worries it. And that was it. Oh, did you see this also? This one girl, I didn't, let me just kind of show real quick. She's piling on. This is what I hate about the society we live in anymore, because I think it's cool. Like, people are in the news, you should be able to talk to them, and you may not agree with them, but you should be able to hear what they have to say. And I don't know YouTube stars, but I guess this one girl, Pearly something or whatever.
She's the guy. She's the girl Nick and talked to when he
Yeah.
started talking all that weird shit. I guess.
Well, and now she deleted that interview with him, and she's doing her how sorry she put him on, and blah blah blah. I think she's scared of losing her YouTube channel or something. So
Probably.
she's
I mean,
doing
that's a
her
risk you always take when you talk to people like that.
But that's so stupid. I mean, I think you
It
should be
is
able to
stupid.
talk to
You
people, and
should.
it's embarrassing how people have to grovel. And she never agreed with him. She just gave him a platform to say his point of view. And
Well, back when I was growing up, like a lot of people would go on talk shows and you could be just a horrible person and go on a talk show and they
right.
gave you a platform and you just talked and nobody had to apologize for having people on.
Yeah, it's a real closing of discussion in America that's happened because of censorship, and it's I mean it's even me. I'm going to get a lot more guests on, but most of them will be on Rumble now. By the way, we're streaming now on YouTube and Rumble concurrently. But when I do the Ramsey Paul show, the first part is on YouTube and Rumble. The second part Rumble only, and I'm limited what I can do on the YouTube part. And there's just certain guests, like I would love to have Nick Fuentes on. I think he's done a lot of great things, but I couldn't have him on YouTube. That would put me at
Right.
risk.
Right.
And I think that's horrible. I don't think that is good, but it is bad. And
Hmm.
let's see. Oh, this is kind of funny. I didn't even realize this, Sasha, that this is the case. Let's see here. This is from the Great White North. $10. Thank you. My wife Karen says you left your price sticker on your mug. We can see it every time you take a pull. I don't have a mug today, but
Oh, it's
that must
probably
be.
mine.
Did we leave the price sticker on it, or you did?
Yeah, it's on there.
Oh, how much was it?
I'm not going to say, but you can
Okay.
see it. I like my mug. It's my new favorite mug.
Oh, well, everyone can see your price sticker on it. So
Yeah, it's hard to get off. It'll
is
come
it?
off eventually. I don't really
Yeah.
care.
I thought it was like my mug from my show, and I was like, because tonight I'm just drinking tea.
Oh,
So
you're drinking out of Grimace.
yeah. So Yeah, I
Did you
got that
wash
done.
that? Because that's what I was drinking out of
I
earlier at your
did.
place.
I did the dishes, and they're all clean now. So
That's
I
good.
just pulled this out, and I figured I'll have some. I try not to drink coffee before bed because it just keeps me up.
Oh,
So
I got the sticker off. Oh,
all
finally, I
right.
got
Well,
it
thank
off.
you for that. You got Sasha motivated. She got her sticker off, so that is really cool. So that is good. Good to have that. So yeah. So I guess the Yay 24s are already done. Already done. It didn't last long. So it's too bad because it took America First down a weird spot that it used to. It was always about optics. Don't be like the Richard Spencer alt right with Nazism, all that type of stuff, right? And then here they go, veer down that route when I guess Kanye was having a spell and they lashed onto him. I don't know.
I
It's
don't
just
really
sad to see
care.
that happen. Yeah.
I don't really care about those people.
Yeah. It is. It's just I don't think it's going to be a political movement anymore. They didn't have their convention, did they, this year for like they had the
I
previous
don't
years,
think so. I think they had something else in DC.
like to protest the CPAC or whatever. But that's
Oh
a
yeah,
lot.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot different than having your own convention. So it was weird because they used to could draw like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Paul Goslar, and everything else, and I don't think that's going to happen anymore, especially with this Kanye thing. You think they'll be able to rehabilitate Kanye?
They'll just give him meds, probably.
But I mean, do you think they'll accept him back, the mainstream media? I think they might.
Maybe because
I
he's
think,
black.
yeah, I think he's black. He'll just saying he was mentally ill and he was taken advantage of by these evil white nationalists that, I think that would be his take. So
Yeah, he's popular enough. I think he can.
I do feel bad for Nick because Nick, he was kind of a fangirl with both Trump and Kanye. And that was part of the problem. And now Trump's disavowed Nick, and now Kanye probably will disavow Nick. So it's kind of sad. I
Well, it
feel
sounds
bad
like
for him.
he's still like for Trump, so I don't really understand. I don't know. I don't understand these people. I don't get the whole Trump thing. I just don't get it. Yeah, it's like maybe he's better. He's better than Biden, but is he that great? Not really.
Yeah, well, we're talking today in a roundtable. I don't think Trump can get elected again. I just don't think that's possible.
Well, I mean, you saw what happened.
Yeah, I mean, if he didn't get elected in 2020, why do you think he'll get elected in 2024?
Well, Hillary Clinton didn't get it like twice. I mean, to be fair, she didn't like she ran against Obama for the primary, but still, like they
Right.
ran her and she lost twice.
She only ran once for president.
Well, I mean, she ran in the primaries or whatever.
Oh
But
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
nobody,
Well,
nobody likes her though, and they're talking about
no.
running her again, and it's just
Are
like
they really?
they
Man, that'd be
were
a
a while
disaster.
back. They were. I don't know if
Yeah.
they're going to now. I haven't heard much from her, but it's like
I just
Bernie's,
think I don't. That'd be so weird. I mean, she's so hated. I just can't see.
she is.
I
I
mean,
guess
they
some
got a
of
lot
these
of
women
power in
like
the
her.
party. Yeah,
These
they
like
do.
Unitarian type women, they probably like Hillary Clinton, but
Yeah,
most
the people.
normal women don't even like her. They see her as evil and like demon possessed. That's how I see her. I'm
Oh,
gonna
she's.
vote for her.
Yeah, she's
It's
just
just
like
like
everyone's nightmare. She's like
her
HR lady.
whole policy or her whole campaign's like, I have a vagina, vote for me. And it's just like, we don't care. You're possessed by Satan. We don't want you as our president.
And now you don't even need a vagina to be a woman. So she's kind of even beyond that. So
That's hate
yeah.
speech. Oh,
Yeah,
we
I
saw a
know.
weirdo. I told Brandon on the phone we saw a weirdo at the Shark Tank.
Oh my God. When you see something like that, and we'll be careful how we say it on YouTube, but when you see someone like that in real life, it's jarring.
Oh, I
Jarring.
knew because I was like looking at the aquarium and I
I
heard
just
a
thought it
very
was
deep
like,
manly voice, and I'm like, who's that man talking? And I look over and it's like the guy working there and has fake boobs, a pearl necklace, and talks like this. Like, and I pointed over to you and going bald, and I said to you, I was like, that's a dude. And you're like, it is. It was kind of funny. Like, I'm surprised you didn't notice before I did.
well, at first I thought it was a woman who's had a hard life with meth. I thought she was probably a 60-year-old woman, lived in the trailer park doing a lot of meth.
Yeah, she
And
had
then,
that vibe, or he had that vibe.
Yeah, so that was that was a pretty cool though that exhibit. It's a shark exhibit at Mandalay Bay. I would recommend it. They have a Komodo dragon, which is so cool. You don't see them much. So
Yeah, and the guy said what they lived to be like 25, and the one there is like 23.
yeah, it has arthritis, so it's
It's
like
sad.
I know.
Yeah, that was a great aquarium. I had
Uh
such a great time.
yeah, it was fun. There's a lot of fun things
I was
there.
kind of depressed to even be home. It's like I have to go back to
Yeah.
work tomorrow and deal with all this crap, and it's just like I just want to go back.
Yeah. K-Max, why do people say they dislike DeSantis over Israel and being the establishment when Trump hired Bolton, Kushner, and moved the Israeli embassy? Are people Trump blind? 2016 Trump is not 2024 Trump. This is something I will say this about Trump. He's got a passionate following of people that will love him no matter what he does. Yeah, they just love him. And I can understand that. And he says a lot of great things, but when he governed, it was a little bit different. And you're right, hiring John Bolton, the neocon of the neocon, that guy's like bloodthirsty. Why he hired them, why he put his daughter, the nepotism, and Kushner, who's all tied into that. And he's massively a fan of Israel, and he always said how much he loves Israel. And actually, Trump gets in trouble, Sasha, because he says he loves Israel more than the Jews love Israel,
Yeah, he did say that.
or that he says something. The American Jews, they need to love Israel more, or something. It was just so cringy.
I
I
don't
get it.
know.
I mean, I don't understand it too. I get it. I mean, if you're going to be in American politics, it's very hard to be American politics if you're not a Zionist. It's almost a requirement,
Hmm.
or you got to keep your mouth shut. I guess AOC. There were some people on the left were Zionists, but they were bitch slapped and put in their place pretty quick. Um, I don't know. I don't know what to say, guys. You're not going to get someone as a nominee that's not a Zionist with either party. That's just not going to
Right.
happen. And so, yeah, is DeSantis a big supporter of Israel? Of course. And so is Trump, though. So I'm not really quite sure.
Some of these Trump people are just like in a cult. Like really, it's like, yeah, I get it. He's better than what we got, but he's not that great. Like he screwed a lot of shit up, and people really give him a pass on some of the stuff we can't talk about on here.
Yeah,
And I get kind of sick and tired of it.
yeah,
I
the
don't know.
stuff
Like I
that
work with
thing we
people like
can't
that.
talk about on Twitter. You guys know the thing. There's certain things we can't talk about on Twitter. A lot revolve around Trump, but that thing that happened that YouTube won't let us talk about, Trump, really helped facilitate a lot of that. You remember the
Mhm.
governor of Georgia disagreed with Trump, and I agreed with the governor of Georgia, and Trump went after him. And I don't know, and then Trump really did a push something we can't talk about. I love censorship. We have to just talk in riddles, but I think everyone knows. So I just I don't know. I don't think, DeSantis hasn't announced, and he may never. He may decide to wait this one out and wait 4 years, uh, because he doesn't want to get embroiled with the whole Trump thing. So he may not even be running. He's not
Right.
running now. He hasn't announced.
Unless he
Uh,
waits till the last minute or something.
Unless like Asa, our former governor of Arkansas, he's announced, and everyone, I know all of you guys are like, "Who Asa? What the hell? Who's he?"
I
He's
don't know
like
why
this.
he's even bothering.
I think it's just a bucket item list so he can be on the stage for the debates. And he'll be off the debate so quick because I don't even think he's polling 1%. If you guys don't know, it's Asa Hutchinson. He used to be the governor of Arkansas. He's a older, how would you
Grandfatherly type,
grandfather, I would say early 70s maybe, but
probably.
he's real tied into Walmart. That's how he got in. And I hate to use the term, but the term rhino, or he's an establishment Republican type. I don't know. He just is really, and he has charisma of like watching dry paint, right? It's just
Right.
really, he's not a very exciting man. So
Mm-mm.
I don't even know. I don't really get it though. But thank you for that. Oh, we got another power chat. Thank you, Great White Knower. Thank you. And on a more serious note, well, the sticker was a serious note, so that's. Oh, by the way, we got Dylan said thank you, Rams, for all you do. Well, thank you guys for being here. You
Oh,
guys,
we had a rant too. Do you want me to?
Yeah,
while
let's do
she
the rant
was.
and we'll do that. Thank you, rant.
It was from M99. Welcome back, y'all. What happened during the week that made you wish you were streaming? Anything?
Well,
I
not probably Sasha, not anything. One of the big stories that almost happened that was going to, and I'm like, oh no, I'm out of town. It was Trump. I thought was going to be arrested. You remember that?
Yeah.
Wasn't that last week? And that
Hmm.
all fizzled out. Something about Stormy Davis and all the, the
Daniels.
Daniels, Stormy Davis. Who's that? Stormy Daniels and the hush money or something like that. And it just fell apart. I don't know if they're still going to do something. They're trying to get it so Trump can't run. I guess that was going to be a big story. Was there any other big stories last week? I don't know. A lot of times, what
Um,
happens is kind of funny. Is you get these stories for the day, and it's like the biggest thing ever, and then like a week later, everyone forgets about it.
right.
I would say Kanye was that way. Remember, he was like, "Oh, everywhere. This is the biggest story everywhere," and then it just faded out, and people kind of forgot about it. So, how about you? Was there anything that was you missed about streaming last week, Sasha?
Not really. Like I was happy to have a week off and not have to do anything work related or streaming or anything.
All right. Oh, now we're going to get Great White North. He had a power chat. Thank you, Great White North. $10. I really do appreciate this. On a more serious note, if DeSantis declares, do you think he can survive the Trump wrecking ball during the primary, i.e., low energy jab? Um, gosh, I don't know. That is a good point. That's why I think he may not even declare because I don't the whole Trump circus thing that will bring to it. And there's people now. It's a weird thing because the people that support Trump they just despise DeSantis for. I mean, they just hate him, and it's like I just can't see that coming together. Usually in a campaign, in a primary candidates, they go at each other, but then they all like unify around a candidate.
Right.
And I don't see the Republicans, if Trump's a nominee, I don't see a lot of the Republicans unifying around Trump. And if, let's say, DeSantis is a nominee, do you really think the Trump supporters will support DeSantis, or will they just be really bitter?
I
I
don't
just don't
know. I
see
think
that.
they'll probably be more bitter. I don't know.
Yeah,
People might vote for whoever just because they don't want the Democrats to win again. Kind of like a lot of people, like I know a lot of people in my family, the first time Trump ran, they didn't really like Trump because they didn't think he was really like, I don't know, some of the stuff that he was like up for gay rights and he doesn't really care. Well, I guess he came out and said he did care about abortion, but he never cared about it before. But they thought he was kind of like LARPing, like,
yeah,
and so they didn't really want to vote for him. A lot of people were turned off by the way he talked. I mean, a lot of people liked it, but a lot of people didn't, and they didn't want to vote for him, but they ended up pulling the trigger for him anyway because they hated Hillary so much. So some of these people might do it just because they hate like Biden or whoever runs. I doubt Biden will run because how old is he? He's like 80.
yeah.
He'd
He'll
be
be
pretty
82
fucking
for the
old,
next.
but
He is,
yeah,
and
like
I don't. Who knows that even most Democrats don't want Biden to be the nominee. So, well, but I haven't heard anyone really coming out against Biden except for that. What is it, Marianne Williamson or something like that? I mean, one of these obscure
mm,
candidates.
I don't
Uh,
know. Honestly, haven't even been keeping up with this stuff much.
Marianne Williamson. She announced. I don't really know much about her, but I think she ran last time. Yeah, she's telling Democrats to take her 2024 bid seriously. Let me just show you this. Yeah, she's just up there with Asa though. I mean, some of these people I don't even know why they bother. Biden won South Carolina, but Marianne Williamson tells Democrats to take her 2024 bid seriously. Oh yeah, Marianne Williams. She was that self-help author that used to, I think, hang out with Oprah and they talked about their feelings and all that.
Oh, I don't know. Like I
Yeah.
don't really watch Oprah.
I don't either, but I remember that. She's one of those ladies. I could just picture her being into crystals and all that, positive affirmations. And I guess her positive affirmations didn't help last time, though. So that will happen. So I don't know. will can DeSantis survive the Trump wrecking ball? Part of it depends on the legal aspect if Trump gets indicted, and no, I don't think DeSantis at this point can get the nomination from Trump if Trump is still able to run. What do you think, Sasha?
Yeah, you're probably right.
Because Trump has he's got a stronger following than DeSantis, or more passionate following. And
Right.
I don't know. To me, DeSantis sounds pretty good. He's governed well. He's done good policies. He's got the CRT out of Florida. He's pushed back on all the drag queen stuff. He's, I don't know. I get it. I get it. You can say, oh, he's part of the establishment. But, well, dude's just, And one of the things we talked about on a roundtable that was really weird about Trump, and if anyone in the chat can tell me if any, I couldn't think of any off the top of my head, but I think he was the first president that I know of. And you guys correct me if there's another example that became president without ever having another political position or being in the military. Trump was never in the military, and he was never a senator. He was never a congressman. He was never a mayor. I can't think of anyone that did that. You get Ronald Reagan was governor of California, and there's just so many. I can't think of any off the top of my head. Bill Clinton was governor of Arkansas.
Even Hillary was like governor of New York, or no, senator.
She was senator.
Senator, yeah.
But she wasn't president.
Right, and Obama was a senator in Illinois.
Yes, he was. So I'm just trying to think of someone. Trump was so unique that way.
Was Bush a governor?
Wasn't he in Texas somewhere? Yeah, representative or something. So I if you guys know any, let me know. But it was so unusual, and I think that's great. I don't think you should have to have all of that, but usually you have some governing experience, and because that's important in how you get things through. So I don't know. I'm not like a DeSantis fanboy necessarily. I just think he would. I don't know if any GOP can win anymore, just based on how the states are now and other issues I can't talk about on YouTube. So
I don't know.
So here we go. Oh, Carrie Cox, thank you. And Carrie Cox, she tipped on the stream elements. That's another way you guys can support. And thank you, Carrie Cox. Welcome back. MAGA, yes, and left have a symbiotic relationship. For better or worse, we are still in the Trump era. 45 seems like the only candidate who supports realistic peace talks with Russia and Ukraine. So on it goes. Carrie, good comment in that Trump's never really, Sasha, seems to gone away. I mean, it's funny because I have like my mainstream, whenever I get on the day, I have just the mainstream news feed, the normie bullshit. And they're always going on about glorious Ukrainian victories and how Russia's losing. They've been doing that forever. But they've almost always, every day, they have like upset about Trump. And this has been this way now for going on 3 years. How long has it been since Trump's been out of office?
7?
But there's still
since he got in originally, it was 2016.
Well, I mean, since he's been out. So he got out in 2020. Years. So yeah, we're going on the third years, and they're still obsessed about Trump. Every day
they still blame him for stuff.
They do.
Biden does something stupid and Trump gets blamed for it. It's like, come on, guys. Like, he's not even president anymore.
So that's a great comment, Carrie, because I think the left, they need a devil, and he's their devil. And I don't think they like DeSantis either, but the Trump is like the guy. And it still defines our politics so much. I don't know. It's going to be interesting on the next couple of years how that happens. What's going to happen with Trump and the Republican nominee? And that's a good point. It'll be interesting. I know most of the people. I'm guess I'm like one of the few that I think I'd prefer DeSantis. I think most people in our sphere are still Trump supporters. And don't get me wrong, I would vote Trump definitely over Biden. But I kind of, just because he's younger and he's governed well and he's shown he can win, I kind of like I like DeSantis, and I don't know. I know a lot of may piss a lot of people off. And again, I don't hate Trump. I just, if he's a nominee, I will vote for him. But I just find it a little bit, I'm not sure. All right. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate the your guys' comments. You guys have been great. And yeah, let's get into some other, because usually night owls, we talk about other stuff too. And I wanted to talk about, we can only go about another 15 minutes. I got a lot of prep to do. I got to set up my show for tomorrow. So we keep night owls usually about an hour. Unless you guys keep donating, then we'll stay on
Yeah,
as long as you can.
yeah. If we get like a lot of money, then we'll stay.
Yeah, a lot of money will stay.
That's Keno Casino's like thing. Like, keep
Yeah.
paying us, we'll stay.
Donate $1,000 and I'll stay up to 5 a.m. streaming. And
Yeah,
I'm
me
serious
too.
about that. So you'll see us till 5 a.m. But yeah, otherwise we're going to leave about 15 minutes. But so if you have questions, send them in 15 minutes. Because I feel bad about that, Sasha. A lot of times people send in like a donation at the very last minute when I'm like signing off.
That happened to you like 3 times, like before we went on vacation, it seemed like.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of fun.
Then I feel bad because Old Chase, I think his name, right?
Yeah.
And he gave me a rant for $200. What a generous donation.
Yeah,
I
and he
didn't
gave
even
you a
see it.
couple more after that even.
I know, but then he started, I think, kind of trolling me, and it was kind of funny because he'd wait till the last second to give a question. And
Right,
so,
it was funny.
yeah, I got your name, Old Chase. Thank you very much. That was really nice of you. And we did beat your we did bet your numbers. They didn't come up.
Oh, so he was the guy that gave you the numbers? I didn't even realize it was him.
Yeah. Like your chat, sure. Thanks. Hey, thank you.
Oh,
yeah,
thank
it's
you.
great. We have a great community. It's great to get everyone together. And I hope everything's okay. So let's see here. And sometimes we have friends and I don't see them much anymore. I get worried about them. I hope they're doing okay, our audience people.
Right, me too.
It's kind of
Well,
funny.
you kinda
Sasha and I sometimes talk a lot about you guys off air because we get to know you, or even if some we met and then we just don't see anymore, and we just hope they're okay. Other people,
Yeah, a lot of people just kind of come and go, and you kind of taught me that a long time ago because I get kind of attached to people, and then I won't hear from them, and you're like, well, that's the way it is.
It is. It is.
It's just kind of like, I don't know.
We get attached to you guys too.
Kind of sad.
But so yeah, anyway, we did see the movie Scream 6, right? The other night.
Yes.
And I'll give you okay, first of all, I'm just gonna say right now, spoiler alert, if you want to see the movie, then don't listen anymore, because if you're gonna get I didn't like the movie. No, I'll just say right off. So if you don't care about the spoiler, now's your chance to just get away because we're near the end of the show anyway. But I love, just so you know, I saw Scream 1. Sasha showed it to me about a year ago, I think, and I loved it. The first Scream I never saw when it came out in the 90s.
I saw it in the theaters. Yeah,
What
I saw
year
it
did it
after
come out?
96, I think. I was at prom. I went to prom with my friends, and then like afterwards we went because I had this friend that was kind of slow in the head. Like, she was older, and her husband gave us a ride, but she wanted to see Volcano. That was coming out, but it wasn't even playing. And we were like, no, we want to see Scream. And she liked horror movies, but she was like pissed off because she had the mind of a child.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, I can't see Volcano. And she got all upset. And so we saw Scream, and we all love Scream except her. She was mad because she didn't get to see Volcano. And it's like, bitch, Volcano's not even playing. And it was just one of those like disaster movies, but we all love Scream, like when it came out. And then I saw the second one in the theater too, and it's pretty good. It's not as good as the first one, but
yeah. So I saw the first one and I loved it. It was funny because it's really like a comedy. They're making fun of the horror genre, and I liked it because it was fresh, and it was a very white show too. Weren't they almost all white in the first one?
I think they were.
Yeah. And now Scream 6. Okay, there's a couple of reasons I didn't care for it. Let me tell, for the first one it wasn't to me very interesting. It just seemed, I don't know, it just seemed kind of boring. And why it was boring, I didn't relate to the characters. And part of the main characters were mostly black. There's a couple of whites, but okay, spoiler alert. Guess who the evil villains were? It's actually three villains, and they were all the white characters were the evil.
Well, it's funny. I told Brandon that on the phone, and he
Yeah,
was just like, "They're always the bad guys." He goes, "Name a
yeah.
movie with a black killer," and I said, "Candyman," and he said, "Oh yeah, Candyman," but that's the only one we could think of. And I said, "What about the dude in Shocker?" Because I couldn't remember, but I was like, "No, I think he was white too." So it's just like I don't know.
So they had a like one of the heroes or heroine was a black lesbian, and then there was a couple of Hispanic women, and they had a black dude, of course, that was with I think one of the Hispanic women, and
No,
then
she
you
was
had
with an Asian woman.
right, and then you had, of course, the white guy, the dorky white guy, of course, and he turned out to be one of the villains. And then you had a redheaded girl, of course, she turned out to be one of the villains. Then you had the older white man who was one of the villains, and I to me it was. I just didn't care for that. It just runs I don't
Well,
really care if there's black characters in it, but I'm just so tired of all this
force,
propaganda. And
right?
this was the first Scream that wasn't directed by Wes Craven, right?
No, that's not true. I don't think he's directed one since like Scream 4. He's been dead
Oh,
for a
okay.
while.
Okay, I
Like
thought you said this
he
was
didn't direct the last couple. He directed all the early ones.
right.
But
Okay,
he died when did he die? Wasn't too terribly long ago. He died in 2015. So I think the last one he directed was Scream 4.
right.
So he didn't do the last two.
So I mean, of all the movies I saw so far this year, I with Sasha, we saw Cocaine Bear, Megan, The Whale, and Scream Six. I liked them all. I thought The Whale, Sasha and I disagreed with it. I thought it was a really good movie.
It wasn't. It was nasty. It was Brendan Fraser, and he weighs like 600 pounds. And he used to be hot back in the day. They fatted him up, made him gay, and then he ate pizza like with like salad dressing. It was the grossest thing. And he just started eating and shoving food in his mouth. I'm like, this is not entertaining. This is
Well,
horrifying.
he had an
None of the
addiction.
characters
He
were
had a food
likable. Yeah,
addiction.
it was gross. We don't need to see it. We can just look at him in the fat suit and know he has a problem. I don't want to see somebody like scarfing down food like that. It was so gross. Like Brandon kind of agreed. He said it was nasty and it was depressing too. Like
Well,
you
yeah,
knew
it was
what was
meant
going
to
to
be
happen.
depressing. It was a
So it's not.
depressing movie.
It's not a good depressing movie though. Like I don't know.
Sasha and I disagree with that. I thought it was a really well done movie, and we saw Megan, which was a kind of a dark comedy. Most horror films anymore, I noticed, Sasha, they're kind of not serious horror. They're kind of comedic horror, right? That's like a trend that seems to be. And Megan was like comedic horror, and
Megan was good, but the ultimate movie this year so far was Cocaine Bear.
yeah, and
That
again,
was so much fun.
that was like a horror black comedy horror movie. And when we say black
The bear
comedy,
was so funny. I love the
yeah,
bear. He just jumps in that ambulance. He's like, "Woo." He was almost like it was a lady bear. He was almost like a superhero.
yeah,
That like was like Popeye with his spinach. It was like Cocaine Bear with her cocaine.
and
Like
then
you think there's one part where she's dead and all this cocaine like rejuvenates her and she starts attacking everyone again. It was so funny.
Scream 6 was the worst I've seen. I didn't like that movie.
There were
Um,
some cool death scenes though. Like I really liked the part where they gave the good parts away in the trailer though. Like the part where he went in the convenience store and he was after him.
yeah.
I thought that was good. And then the part where the ladder was between the two apartments and they were trying to crawl. Because there's no way I could have done that. I would have been like, okay, I'm gonna have to fight this ghost face because I'm not gonna. And then he starts shaking the ladder, and you knew that bitch was gonna fall. But
Yeah.
I like they should have focused more on they're in New York City, like dude. Well, they kind of did the same bullshit with Jason Takes Manhattan. You think like, ooh, he's going to start slaughtering all these people in the streets of like New York City, and it didn't really happen. Most of the action took place on the boat, like getting to New York from wherever he was at. It was kind of like that with this. Like there wasn't a lot of action, like actually in the city, like they kind of made you think in the trailer,
Oh, I
like when
guess
he's chasing people through the streets.
one white character they've had. I haven't they had in all Scream episodes is
Oh,
Courtney
Courtney.
Cox, right?
Yeah, I loved her in the Scream. She was probably my favorite character in the Scream movies, really. And it's kind of like because I never cared for Nev Campbell, but it's like sad that she looks. I get it, people get older, but my God, woman, lay off the freaking plastic. I mean, it didn't. Her face is like
Yeah,
I mean, it's
she's
really sad. She has a nice body, but I
yeah,
mean, like, come
she's
on.
hit the wall. It's really sad.
She
It's
even said that though, I guess. She said she regretted getting all that plastic surgery, and that's just like, yeah, you can tell because you look terrible. It's kind of like Madonna. She used to be like a beautiful woman, and you're just like, this is sad. I'm glad she's still in the Scream movies though. She's like the only one left of
yeah,
the original cast, and I guess there's going to be another one, and it's supposed to be the last one. And I guess Nev
good.
Campbell's coming back for that one, and I think Courtney Cox will probably be in it too. So I don't know if they'll kill her off, but I don't know how they're going to spin it. But
Yeah, I did not like the movie though. I'd give it a thumbs down. If you guys want to watch it, you could check it out like it when it comes on
it
streams.
had some good like death scenes or whatever. If you just like horror movies, it's like it's not the best, but it's not the worst.
Well, I
Like
don't even consider Scream a horror movie or those. It's a comedy, kind of black comedy. It's
it's considered horror though.
yeah, that's how
It's
all horror
considered
movies
horror.
are. Most horror movies. We did see some good previews. A guy on death row. What was the name of that movie?
Oh, that looked pretty good. I don't remember though.
I will definitely check that out. Look pretty good. And any more you can tell, there's some, we could tell based on the preview. Oh, you got the cat there.
He's showing
If
his
we're gonna,
butthole to everyone.
I know.
You nasty buddy.
Um,
Yeah, I'm looking forward though this weekend. I guess I'm going to go see I don't know if you're going. I'm assuming you're going too. But I'm going to go see that Tetris movie about the guy that tried to secure the rights to Tetris because it was made by a Russian and it wasn't during the Soviet Union times. And I
yeah.
guess this American had to go over there to try to get it. And it looks pretty good. And my friend wants to go see that. And then another friend wants to go see that new movie about Donna Summer. So I think on Sunday we're going to see that. And then next weekend, the Mario Brothers movie comes out. And that looks so good. I can't wait to see the Mario movie.
Yeah.
It's been like a good year for me with movies because during COVID we didn't go, and I honestly didn't go much before then because I was working two jobs, and then there was just a lot of crap out. Like everything got woke and stupid, and so it was very rare that I would even go to a movie unless it was something like an anniversary of like ET or something. I would go. I saw the How to Train Your Dragon, the last one that came out. That was one of the like last movies. And then I saw the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, but like I missed out. I felt like on a lot going to the movies.
Oh, hey, we got another Joseph, $15. Thank you.
Thank
Very
you.
generous. Whoa, $15. I like it. That's great. Thank you, Joseph. Sasha, Rams and myself on the round table said 90% of actors were average and lucky to get the job with a few peak talents. Do you feel, though, a trained actor does really shine
Yeah.
over an amateur one, and amateur always overacts? And definitely the case. And another thing we've been watching,
I knew this was coming up because this is good to go with this kind of.
yeah, we've been watching. Sasha showed me an old series she purchased called Damages that was done in the mid 2000s.
2007 is when it started.
Yeah,
And it
and
ran for 5
I never
seasons.
saw it. It was Glenn Close. It was a lawyer type series.
Rose Byrne, Tate Donovan, who I saw at the airport in Rome.
Mhm.
During that series, it was funny because I was like, "Is that Tate Donovan?" And it was. And they had him he had like a helper, and he got to go on a special line. But I thought it was funny because at the time I was watching that show, and what are the odds I'd see him at the airport?
How come I didn't get a special line or a helper?
Because you're not an actor that was in a pretty big show
Yeah,
back in
it was
2007.
but it was really good. I mean, if you ever see Damages, I guess they made a few seasons. We just finished season 1 and I loved it. It was really interesting, Sasha, how things have really changed fairly recently, because even then it was pretty much, at least the main actors were all white when you're saying that, and you can't do that anymore. And it was kind of intelligent, and I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, but you're talking about actors that really shine. Glenn Close was great.
She was, yeah,
and it's like she's not like she's not much to look at. She's never been like a beautiful woman. She's a good actress, and it doesn't even matter because I'd rather watch somebody like her that can act than somebody that's pretty that can't act at all. Because she really gets into the part, but she's like that in every movie I see her in. Like you're talking about Hillbilly Elegy, she plays the grandma in that. I didn't even recognize her. Like they probably put like some kind of like fat suit on her, but she really was good for somebody that you know, she didn't grow up in the South or anything. She's like, from what I understand, she's from like the East Coast somewhere and came from a pretty wealthy family. I think her dad was a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And like then you're playing like the grandma about like this kind of white trash family, and she does a really good job. I think she got nominated for an Academy Award for that, but she didn't win. But she's good in Fatal Attraction. Like she's good in everything.
She's a good actress.
I
Yeah.
think she's better than Meryl Streep. Everybody always loves Meryl Streep. Sometimes I think she overacts.
Mm-hmm.
Meryl Streep does, and the things that I tend to like her in are things that she's not like. Like Death Becomes Her. I thought her and Goldie Hawn were both like really funny in that.
Yeah, but to answer your question, Joseph, I do think an actor and actress, if there is a talent to it and a good one, makes a difference.
Yeah, for sure.
And sometimes it doesn't really matter because we're talking because there's certain characters they don't have, I guess, the term in the industry's range. Like Joe Pesci, I think he's great, but he always plays the same role.
Robert De Niro is kind of like that too, unless there is a movie that he doesn't play kind of a, I don't know. I guess Taxi Driver was a little different than like him in like the Godfather movies and stuff, or Godfather 2, I guess he was in. And
oh, we got another tip from
Goodfellas.
Anonymous. Anonymous, thank you. I really appreciate it for $3, $3.33. Did you see All Quiet on the Western Front? Yes. Hardcore. I felt shell shocked by the time it ended. Yeah, it was a remake of a movie they did previously, and it was basically the same movie. It's just more modern effects they did. I liked it. No, you were in the room, but you didn't watch it. Sasha's not big on war movies.
You always say that, but I do like war movies.
Why didn't you watch this one then?
Well, because I was doing something else. I think I was working on a Lego set.
Well, see,
like I am now, but it was in German, so I couldn't like listen to it while I did the Legos, so I didn't know. So maybe one day
because
I'll watch it.
I think it was dubbed, right? I mean, or they actually
I thought it was in German. Yeah,
yeah, I think it was.
So, and I was doing other things. I do like war movies. I love Full Metal Jacket. Platoon was good. Apocalypse Now was good. Casualties of War was good. I've seen quite a few war movies.
Yeah, and they didn't really black it up. It wasn't they made all the Germans black or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. I don't think any were trans or anything like that, so it was good. Hey Robert, thank you, Robert. And Robert, $3. A-listers mentioned in terms of acting are Tom Hanks, Leo DiCaprio, and Tom Cruise. Ramsey and Sasha view of all three. Excellent question. So Sasha, I'll let you go first. You're more the movie buff. If you had to rank them, Tom Hanks, Leo DiCaprio, and Tom Cruise, who would you rank the best, second, and third as actors?
That's kind of tough. Let's see. Tom Hanks would be last. I mean, honestly, I know people don't like Tom Cruise, but I think he's a good actor. Like he did. I mean, I remember when Interview with the Vampire came out, like Anne Rice was mad because she didn't want him to play Lestat. And she went back on it after she saw the movie. She thought he did a good job. He was good in Rain Man. He's been good in a lot of movies. And
isn't Leo? Leo's pretty good though. Leo's pretty good. He did The Aviator. Good. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. What else has he done? He does all those Martin Scorsese movies. Yeah, he's good too. Maybe I would rank him. I don't know. It would be a toss-up between those two. And the thing with Tom Hanks, I think Tom Hanks is really good he was good in the 80s at comedy. He was funny in Splash and Turner and Hooch and Money Pit. I loved all those movies. When he started getting into serious stuff, it's like, you're not a good serious actor. And when I have him do like a Southern accent or something, like in Green Mile, it's like, you can't do a Southern accent. And he's just not, he should just go back to comedies.
Well, that's not going to happen. He's a serious actor now.
But he's not a good actor.
You didn't like him in Forrest Gump, where he played the autistic guy or whatever.
Yeah, but Forrest Gump was to me a comedy. I guess it's not supposed to be a comedy, but I thought it was.
Yeah.
And I mean, he was good in that, but it's like, come on. To me, that's a comedy.
I thought he was good in Apollo 13. That's one of my favorite movies.
I never saw that.
Yeah, although I get the Owen Benjamin fans mad at me because I don't think they believe space is real. Or
all right, let's not go down this road.
No, I get too mad at
chat, me. You will.
What? You're a sphere cock? You think the Earth is a sphere?
Castaway was pretty good. I forgot about that. Because I remember right after that came out, I was at a party and my friend bought a volleyball and we were going to play volleyball outside. And I said, "Oh, it's like in Castaway." And she goes, "That movie has ruined volleyballs," because that was like his only friend. Have you ever seen Castaway?
Yeah,
Yeah.
to answer the question, I'm gonna go different than Sasha. I think Tom Hanks is the best one.
Oh no!
Leo DiCaprio, then Tom Cruise. The last show, Sasha and I
Wow.
clash on that.
You really think Tom Hanks is a good actor, huh?
I thought I do. I
Even
think he's
South
done
Park
like
made fun of him and said he couldn't act as well of a nutsack. And it's like he's good at comedies. He was funny in Money Pit,
yeah. We'll
but
have to disagree on that. Tom Cruise, I just think of like Top Gun, and I don't know. Is he really?
he
I
was really good. He's good in Rockstar. He was good in Interview with the Vampire, Rain Man.
yeah.
He's been in a lot of stuff. Like you'd forget how many things that Vanilla Sky was a good movie. I haven't seen that in a long time. He's
Tom
good.
Cruise is one of those guys that like never ages. It seems like he just always looks good.
And
He
this is
look
from somebody that doesn't even like Tom Cruise. I really don't. Like if you said honestly, all three of those people, if you said they wouldn't be in my like list of favorite actors.
right,
So
but they're like three famous ones right now.
right.
Who would you not who's the best, but who do you think is the most the biggest name of the three, then the second biggest name, and
Mhm.
they're all three
They're
A-list
all like
actors.
huge though.
Yeah, but if you had to rank them, and it'd be kind of fun for the chat too, how would you rank them just in star power? I'll go first this time than you could. I would say not if you like him or dislike him. I'd just say Tom Hanks is number one. I think he's probably the number one poll now. Number two would be boy, it'd be
Tom
hard.
Cruise.
Tom Cruise and Leo DiCaprio, but they're both all three
Well,
big.
that would be like the like Tom Hanks. I think's been around the longest. Then Tom Cruise, and because Tom Hanks was in Bosom Buddies at like early, like wasn't that
Right.
like that was like early '80s, and then like him and Tom Cruise were kind of coming around the same time, but Tom
Hmm.
Cruise was younger than him and looked better. Because remember, he was kind of considered a heartthrob back in the day, and so was Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
I remember when Titanic came out, my friend Mosca's little sister had like pictures of him all over her bedroom walls, and all the little girls just love Leo. But the movie he was in that was good too that you've never seen, I don't think, is Basketball
Yeah.
Diaries, where he plays a heroin addict. That's like a movie I should download and we can watch it sometime.
Uh,
You know, he was like more serious in that.
I didn't see that. Yeah.
So
So that's how I would rate them in popularity.
yeah, that's
So
probably true.
a good
Really,
question though. I
it
do
was a good
appreciate that.
question. Oh, and something you didn't tell people that
Yeah.
we went to in Vegas was we saw the Michael Jackson Cirque du Soleil.
Oh, we did that. Yeah, we
And
did that. That was really good.
it was
That
the
was really
coolest
good.
thing ever. I was just so like over the moon. I just loved it.
Yeah, that was excellent, and I would definitely recommend that if you ever get to Vegas. That was a good show.
Yeah, Vegas is fun. I was
It was.
telling Brandon we should all move there and we could
Ah,
like wear costumes on the strip and like
yeah.
do tips and make money. I might
No.
do that as a troll next time I go. Just like bring a costume and just go stand out there for a few minutes and see if I can get any money. Because you don't have to have a permit. Brandon said he thought that though maybe the other like people in costumes would like lean on you, like
Yeah,
that's their turf or
I
whatever,
think
like
so. I think
certain
that is the case. Yeah.
parts of the strip. But there's big chunks of the day where I didn't see anybody out in
Yeah.
certain
I don't know.
spots. So
You get them
he
after you.
spot where
Yeah.
nobody was out. Then I'll have to get in a fight with the Sonic the Hedgehog crew or the
Isn't it like
Mario
bums?
Brothers crew.
Isn't that how bums are? They have their corners. If you try to take the corner, you get in a fight with them or
I
something.
don't know. I thought prostitutes did that.
Yeah, prostitutes and
Yeah.
drug dealers do that, don't they? I'm not. I've never been a drug dealer, but from what I saw movies, they have their turf. And if you get on their turf, I think that happened in Breaking Bad. Remember that?
Yeah.
So you can't get on their turf. So that could be so.
I should watch Breaking Bad again because it's been enough
Yeah.
time. Shows like Breaking Bad and Damages are shows I like to wait. Like you watch it all and then wait a few years before, and you kind of forget a
Right.
bunch of it and then watch it again because it's not really funny. Because I like to watch comedies and stuff. Like I can rewatch like South Park, old South Park and stuff like that because it makes me laugh. But shows like Damages are more like depressing kind of shows. Or Breaking Bad was kind of depressing too, but it's a good show. But enough
Yeah, it was
time
a
has
good
passed.
show.
It's been about 10 years since I watched it, or whenever it got canceled. The last season is the last year I watched it, so I should go
Yeah.
back and rewatch those.
Yeah. So I just thought I did a error on my title of Rumble. It says Night Out Sunday, March 2nd. I forgot the 6th.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's showing up for me March 26th.
Is it
Yeah.
for the Night Owls part?
Yeah. It says Night Owl Sunday, March 26th.
Oh, I must have
Oh,
done.
on Rumble you messed up. Yeah, YouTube
That's what
was
I meant.
fine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. Oh well. Always a screw up. Well, we better shut this down because speaking of which, I got to set up my show for tomorrow, my Ramsey Paul show.
And I got to go back to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Not looking forward to that.
Yeah. So, guys, thank you. It's great being back. It's been an active night, and I love our Night Owl shows. And it kind of kicks off the week. Mondays tomorrow, we'll have a good show on the Ramsey Paul show. And thanks for joining us.
Yeah, it was fun. Bye.